always smile. And that's the time he forced us that you're going to read the Indian scriptures. And this started with a taunt from our master, Richard Bandler, with whom we were giving a workshop in Bangalore. And that's the point that there were 160 people. I still have the vivid image gathered in Hotel Le Meridien, Bangalore, 1997. And that was the first time and the only time Bandler came to India. And we were full-fledged trainer of NLP, but we were in his assisting team. So there is a co-trainer and there is an assisting team. And in the assisting team, his modus operandi and the style of giving workshop is that he will divide 20 batches. He'll first come and will give some concepts. Then it is the main co-trainer's job to tell the assisting team that each one of you would speak this. And they are called training stations. So there are 8 training stations with 20 batches each in the Hotel Le Meridien. So if here is one person and then there are 20 chairs before, so one person explains something and the whole audience shift to the next seat. So in the 8 seats arrangement, all the 160 people have been transferred the content after Bandler has given the insight. I am in the first one and series in the last one station. And surprisingly, what's happening is because we are Indians, okay? And people like Gora people. Now, it's a very bad belief, even I have it. But the truth of the life is that if any important person is talking, then every Indian want to hear that person first. So, although the content transfer of each seat is unique and individual, yet, to my surprise, I am finding that in front of my seat, there are very less people. So there are 20 seats, but they are dragging seat to the station number 2 or something else. So I have only, you can say, 5, 6 people. Now notice how embarrassing it is that if in front of me, out of 20, only 5, 6 seats are occupied and the rest of the seats have been dragged here and there. Siri, being a female, has some grace. So there are about 7, 8 people or 8, 9 people, but not 20. Now imagine our master is watching from behind. Naturally, you'll feel very embarrassed that, I mean, what you would say that why people are so interested or they are quite less number in front of you. So that's the internal dialogue going on. Okay. Now nobody says anything, but we cook things in our head. So what I'm cooking in my head is, well, I think he's going to tell me that you seems to be not doing a good job and that is why people are less in front of you or something like that. Now, on top of that, we have one more big challenge, and that challenge is every evening Bandler would sit with his wife and then me and Siri together, which has become, in fact, a reason of quite questioning. And their own people are questioning him and discussing within themselves that why is Sat and Siri so dear? Okay. Now, this is causing some friction. And as a result, the main trainer is trying to put us in a very embarrassing situation. So when it comes to giving instruction, he is giving us half the instructions, okay? And rest, me and Siri are discussing and trying to fill up, okay? Now, You might be surprised, how come such wise people, is it in the big companies, people also, all these small things happen? Well, it's not a question of whether there's a big person. People are people, and human emotions and human behaviors are human behaviors. And irrespective of the place, position, country, they stand the same. Okay. But we are facing a tough time. Okay. And in these times now, to justify ourselves that Bangalore should not point out things to us. Okay. In the evening time when we are sitting with Bangalore is the time I am trying to be and the answer into
Sai,
Bangalore mind.
can you mute yourself?
Okay. And
Or
I'm
Siri,
trying
can you as
to,
a host mute Sai Surya?
justify in my mind that let me tell Bender that it's not our fault. That though he's not questioning us, why people are less. But I'm cooking up in my mind, and I'm also trying to put in Siri's mind that Bandler is thinking that these people are not competent. He may be thinking, and that is why people are not before us. We should tell him that this is the tendency of Indians. So notice that even I am not that good a person who want to project the image of Indian people that it's not me, it's the fault of Indian people. They like to be trained by talk to only the Goras, you know. So think that we are all having such a low, even I don't have a high frequency thoughts. Now, in this process, when we are sitting with him, I ended up in putting things in mind, and I said, Sir, what do you think about Indians? Now I'm trying to open the dialogue. And Bandler is one person whom, if you ask one small question, his answer is how long? It won't stop. And until he has fixed you, and he knows where the person is coming from. The moment I asked him this question, he could quickly gather that where am I coming from? And he said, Hey, let me tell you something. I have been going all across the world for years. Perhaps this is the first time only I'm coming to India. I did land in India earlier times when I was in army, and the plane touched only the Indian base and we flew from there. But I never been to Indian land. This is the first time I'm here. And then he said, there are only two kind of people I meet across the world, but they ask the same question. And what's the question? He said, whenever they are exposed to something which is beyond their thinking, these two kind of people ask only one question, and the question is, how is this possible? One kind of people ask it to reject it, and other kind of people ask it from a sense of curiosity to bridge the gap. And he said, Indians are no different. All kind of people are there too. But the question is, which kind of person you are. Now, he in fact said, you are in a very clear manner pointing at me. And that made me to fix the pieces in my head that he is coming from the point of view that rather than thinking how to make it possible that everyone should sit here, I'm asking a question in my head, how it's possible that Indians are not trying to sit before me. Okay? You get my point. Now, that was a very clever, indirect installation in my head. And then he said, most people do not get curious when they face challenge. Okay? And they want to reject it, whatever is happening before us. That was a very clear message. But his answer did not stop here. And he said a very painful story. And he said, every morning, he said about his wife gets ready at 11 and wants to go to different shopping places in India, in Mysore and all the neighboring places in Bangalore, because she she has shopping as one of her passion. Okay. And Bangalore would support her. I'm talking about his second wife. Now she died, and now he's the third one he's having with. And then he said, you Indians have seems to have lost the values. And I said, what is he talking about? And then he questioned me a few things. Do you know Aurobindo Savitri? Do you know Gita? Do you know Yoga Vasishtha Gita? Do you know this? And I said, what is he talking about? Do you know what your Upanishads tells? Now, it was all kind of, do you know what Rabindranath Tagore's music communicates his poetry? And he said, in fact, he said, do you know your mother? I said, yeah, why not? I mean, I just try to make fun. People can mistake father, but mother they can't mistake. He said, no, you don't know who's your mother. And it was a very hard hitting comment onto me. And it was about that your mother is your deep inherited wisdom and the culture that you have got totally disconnected from. And you people only run to countries like US, and we have packaged the wisdom of your land and give you in nice good dollars. And you like to have it from us. And then he said that when my wife goes for shopping every single day, there is one person who drives her to the market. And he said, unfortunately, I am so pained, he said, that people call him driver and not his name. And he said, by the way, do you know what is in your name? I said, what's in my name? Yeah, I know. My spiritual teacher has given it. He said, that's what I mean. You know that with how many ceremonies, with how much preciousness, even the name in India is given. And it has a perfect blend of chemistry and calculation that when people refer you by that name, it changes the composition of your brain and chemistry. It was all absolutely kind of a never heard thing for me. And it turned my attention and our attention towards the deep inherited wisdom and the scriptures that we must, as our mother, honor it. He said, it's not Bharat Mata or whatever you call it. It is rich culture, okay, which you own it and which is immortal, that you should be connected to. And there is the answer of everything. Now, even if someone feels, I mean, it was a hard-hitting reply onto us, but human tendencies still try to put the best face in front. Okay? Just at the surface level, feeling convinced, but deeper level thinking, what the shit he's talking? Okay? Because we have never seen all that and we don't know ourselves the richness of what the Indian wisdom has it. Okay? And escaping by his comments, we landed up before our master. Okay? And Richard Bandler and master had been very close friends. And again, to justify that we are right and Bandler is wrong, we are trying to put before our master, your friend that Bandler, who's a teacher as well, okay, he's telling us that, have we seen our mother? Do you know your mother? And first he listened. I thought maybe he's getting convinced. And I'm trying to question what's there in that. We are quite educated. And that's where I still remember the blushed up, red faced master looking into my eyes said, he's right. You guys must know it what's right thing and first know that thing before you go to the word. Stop teaching NOP from tomorrow onward. And his words are his words. Once he has declared or given a declaration, now we cannot dare to. Okay, he said, no NOP. First, dive deep into these scriptures, understand the wisdom, and then tell people the truth. Whether you are living by the truth is not important. Important is you must speak truth. What it means is you have not to practice before telling what's right. Because if you will wait for that day, that let me first be the most perfect person to talk about perfection, I think never ever there will be a day in life that you could talk good things to people or perfect things to people. Okay? That's not possible. Right? So he kind of banned us to teach NOP in his NLP and turned us towards scripture. And then when we studied almost all we could lay hands on for months together, okay, and begin searching and hunting even good professors in India and their even books and insights from any source we could gather, we hunted that. And then when we felt quite good with it, he said, now listen. Don't go before people and start quoting books and shlokas and in Sanskrit and all that. That's not what I mean. Blend it in your way of simple communication so that people just relate things to what you are talking so that they can make good sense of that. Because the moment you will name some scripture, they will start reading that scripture and lose the essence of it. Do you understand? I said, yes. And then he said, good. Now you can go and teach anything you like. But remember, never ever I should find you that you remember few shlokas and few Upanishads and few things and you are just quoting them. Just talk a simple language. Now, it was a very hard thing to do. First, you dive deep and then you try to forget. And then you try to get things in the normal manner. But in this process, we begin finding that when we are not to teach NOP, so-called NLP, what do we do now? And that's where we got the first opportunity. In one of the now Fortune 500 company called NTPC, that they invited us that, do you have something concrete to offer which can connect people to the values? And we are also trying to integrate values at every level in our employees in the organization. Oh, I said, yeah, that we can do. Okay. With very great excitement, we just declared it. As if, we are waiting for, to find job. And that's where the first workshop of what are values? Why do we need them? Do we live by our values? These three questions we addressed before the galaxy of the most senior people in NTPC. And after 2 hours first presentation, Sri many times narrates this incident. There was a pin drop silence when we ended the 2 hours talk, that how will we go about doing it? And no one got up. I thought it's all finished. But then we could find deep contemplation, a question, and wet eyes. And one clap, and then the second, and the third, and the whole galaxy of top 20, 30 people begin to clap and say, yeah, think we all need this. Okay. And that was the beginning of this wonderful workshop, which we've been calling it value integration process, VIP. Okay. That how do you move from a VIP, value, very important person, to a value integrated person. And we've been saying it, how do you move from a VIP to capital VIP? Okay, and live with values, identity, and purpose. And I think we gave more than 200 workshops only with them, and then several other organizations. We've been very poor in keeping record of that, but that's what people loved. Okay. And I know the workshop time will finish many time at 5:30 and people won't get up. Okay. And we were not telling stories, we were not telling them jokes. We were telling them deep, hard facts which will challenge them, and they would want to feel challenged. And that has been our experience, that whenever we have given this wholehearted workshop about how to be a value-oriented person and align with the values and understand the values, people love it. Now, it's not easy to live by values, but yes, it's very important, right? Now, some of you may have attended this module, but I just want to understand from each one of you that how many of you live by values? Just put in the chat box. I do. Just put in chat box. I do live by my values. Okay? Just keep writing down and I will know it. And only address it to me, don't to people, not to everyone. No, 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 not to everyone, please. Address it to me only. Address it to me only. Okay?
You have to change your name because it says I innovative coach. So if you can book it as such, they know.
Okay, wait a minute. Oh, I where is my name? I don't know to change it. In just a minute. Not to everyone, huh? Okay. Okay, here I am. So I will just change my name. So please address it to me only, not answer to everyone. Don't try to tell everyone, they'll catch you otherwise. Okay? They will question you. Okay. So address it to me only. How many of you live by your values? Oh, I got good answers. Now,
Nice.
There's a lot of disturbance, Siri.
I
Can
don't
we
know
put
who is
everybody
giving.
on mute? Yeah.
Let me mute people. I don't know how to mute people.
It's Anne Dolly.
Can you help me to mute people? Okay. All right. So
It's done.
I want to mute because some disturbance is coming from some people. Okay. So most people are quiet says I do. And most people, some people say yeah, at times, and some people say I try. Well, in fact, I don't know what's your understanding about what's value in fact. Let's understand that. Those who says, I do live by value. So what do you mean by a value? Anyone who's written I do, please write it down. Because if you say I do, then you must be knowing what a value is. Okay. So what's a value? Just write down in the chat box, refer it to me. Okay. And I will read few of the answers without naming the person who the person is. See, certainly when I ask, if you say I do, please write down what's the value. Now that answers have not coming. Okay. But some people have tried to say it's ideal to me, it's believed to me. Now the big question is, well, if I believe that if someone hits me, I should hit the person back, am I living by value? The big question is, we hardly in fact reflect into it. What's really a value? No, some people have written a value, okay, that respect, honesty, but then it is not defined what value is. So let me put a question here, and let me give you a kind of framework, and that might give you understanding. Let's say if I offer you two bowls. In one bowl, I put peanuts. In one bowl, I put almonds. And both are for free. There is no price attached to it, okay? It's for free. You can take it. And you have to take only one of it. And you have to take it for someone you love. Which of this will you take? Just type it in the chat box, address to me. Which one will you take? Good. Now, I'm also getting the answers here. Many people have written almonds, some have write peanuts, and then now ask a question. Those are writing peanuts. I am not pointing any person here. Are you taking because this is what you love the person to have, or are you taking because that person likes it? Now, if you're taking because that person likes it, you're not picking up something valuable. You're going by the liking of the person. So it's not that then you're living by value. Now, if I say like that to you, I'm not saying it's not a question of affordability. Like some people say mention affordability, and some people say because that's what I can buy every single day. That's not the question. And some people are very honestly written, yeah, because that's what the person likes. Then you're not picking up the food that you value, but you're picking up the person that you value. So this real difference. Okay. Now, this is how actually we respond to the world. Now, if I put a simple question to you, that if you pick up almond, what is in almond more than peanut? I'm not talking about price. Let's say both are available at zero price to you at the moment I'm offering you. Okay, so it is not that, yeah. What is in almond more than peanut? Just type it in the, yeah. So some people are not telling me the nutrition, higher protein, good one. All right. Now that's called the almonds have more nutritional worth than the peanut. So it is not because even if peanut become 1 lakh rupees a kg, you will still buy the almond. So peanut or almond, you don't take it because which is costlier. You look into what is in peanut, what is in the almond, then you are trying to address the value. Now, exactly like this, when you meet people, they also look into you, what worth you are. Like you look in the food, the worth, the nutrition, it has it. Similarly, you deal with the people, in fact, finding out what is the valuable worth this person has it. And that's what is the real value in a person. So if person is not that worth dealing, you don't like to deal. Maybe you like the person, maybe you do things what person likes, but you're not happy to deal with that person. Like you look into the food, the worth of nutrition. People also look into you, the worth of values. Now, this is the reason that until you know what is a value, and until you live by a value that you say that I live by, okay? And you know it, okay, how do I live this value? Until you know it. So let me pick up one person from here and try to do something with that person, okay? All right. So I'll just read the name. Okay. Right. Okay. So let me. Okay. Okay. So. Okay. So let me pick up some Navneet Kalra is there. Can you just be on the screen, Navneet, and say hi?
Hello, sir.
Yes, Navneet. Okay. Very nice to have you. Yes, Navneet? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So tell me, what's your one of the topmost value?
Sir, to respect, like to respect every individual.
Okay. Okay. So your value is to respect individuals.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, how do you know it's your topmost value?
Sir, it is one of the topmost. I would not say it is the topmost.
Okay. So you mean many things can be at the top?
There are more values, yes.
Okay, I love that. So your top is like a quite flat thing. Okay. All right. Okay, so what is respect for you?
For me, it is to understand that everybody has a different perspective as per their own, their understanding, their circumstances, their learning. So, everyone needs to be respected with their own thinking.
Okay. Very nice to hear you. Now let me hear from you that when do you fail to live by this value?
When do I feel? Sorry.
Fail. When do you fail to live by this value?
When do I fail? When some biasness comes, maybe. But yeah, when some kind of biasness is there.
When some kind of?
Biasness, like when sometimes my thoughts overlap, I try not to do it, but sometimes, your thought process overlaps the other person's thought process.
So when does this happen?
When you are very firm, or you have a belief that, you know, you are absolutely correct in some situation.
Mm-hmm. So then where this value goes?
It doesn't go anywhere, sir. It's there in subconscious. It is there, but yes, sometimes it does happen. But you know, eventually I try to tell myself that everyone to themselves.
Right. So if I say, it could be the leading question that we do fail to live by values sometime or several times. Am I correct in your relationship with you I'm talking?
Sir, yeah, could be often, matlab seldom. I would not say often. Could be seldom, but not in this. I mean, I have maybe, you know, practiced it not in this value, maybe in some other value.
Okay. So in
Like
some way it does happen.
I try to distance or give space in this particular value.
Okay, great. So this one value you can swear by, yes, I do live, but in some other values, it does happen.
Could be. Yes, some
Okay.
other value can happen.
So what does that make you feel when it happens?
What does it, how does it affect me, you mean?
Yes, yes. How does it affect you when you fail to live by some value?
There is a overthinking process around it. There is a thinking process around it.
And what does that result into?
Maybe reviewing the value, rethinking about it.
Okay. And so what kind of emotions you go through when you find it hard or you find it difficult or you fail to live by some values?
There is a restlessness and thought process
Restlessness.
till you reach a conclusion. There is a restlessness.
Okay. Now think about it. If you, I would say everyone invite you at the moment that if you have a pad with you, write down your 3, 4, 5 values that you think you have or are important to you. Okay. And they are your values. Write them down. Every one of you. Navneet, I can't see you.
Sorry.
Okay.
Now you can see me? Yes, sir.
All right. And as I work with her, you can also work with yourself.
Yes.
All right. So Navneet,
Yes, sir. I'm just getting a pen, sir. I didn't have the pen. Sorry. 1 minute.
it's okay. I didn't prepare you well that you can come with a pen.
No, sir. I wasn't prepared. Sorry.
Okay. Have you made the list of? Right. So Navneet, what's your second value?
Sir, okay, so value could be anything that you believe. So I believe, So I'm here confused. Do I need to write something that I believe in or something like I do? Like I believe in donations and charity. So that could be a value.
So what do you
Or
value
health-
there? What do
or
you
health.
value?
Sorry, sir.
What do you value there?
I just what do I value there? I feel if I am privileged and I can help anybody, then that gives me I don't know, that gives me a satisfaction to help somebody who's in need, helping somebody whom I can help to my capacity.
Yeah. So what's the value here?
The value is the value is that I get peace, satisfaction. I get I feel good. I don't know, what do I say?
Yeah. What do you value here otherwise? When you said privilege to I should give to the people who need it. So what do you value there?
So the value is compassion.
Okay. So that is what your value is. Second value. And how you demonstrate it?
I do charity and donations to the near and so the people around me whom I know very well and they need help, like
Okay.
people around me, like my helpers, my people who are surrounded by me. So I
Good.
try to be there whenever they need me.
Okay. Now, what else is the way to demonstrate this value other than what we are doing it?
What is the alternate way?
Other way. Not alternate. I'm not saying alternate means rather than this, the other way.
Okay, the other way to
What
help.
is in other way? What more can be
Just-
done to live this value of
Just
compassion?
be there to listen to people. Yeah, just be there to give a
Okay. And what is another way to live this value?
another way.
Your way only, okay?
So,
What
sir, it's either helping emotionally or maybe support them in some other way.
Okay.
Emotionally, I can just hear them out,
Okay.
or I can just just be there to hear them out or help them if I can.
Now, based on whatever you have discovered, find out that what's your present score, that the value the score you want to live and score you are living. So if 10 is ideal,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
what is the score you are living and what do you want to live?
So I might be living somewhere between, say, 7 and 8. I
Mhm.
might want to make it a full score. I want to make it a full score.
Okay, the full score.
Yeah. Why not if I can?
Right. Now, if you can, I don't know. It's you have to decide.
Yes, sir.
So you have to scale it. There is no scale in the world. Only
Yes,
you
sir.
have to scale it.
Yes, sir.
Now, each one of you like this, score it. That if 10 is the maximum, what is the score you are living and what is the score that will be good for you? And it is not necessary that you have to be 10 on 10. You can take a decision not to live a 10 on 10, but 10 on 6 is the right value, but I'm living 4. Or 10 on 8 is a good value, but I'm living 6. Okay?
So I think in this case, 8 on 10 is also a good value, but I'm living somewhere 6 to 7. So I could just scale it up a little bit. 10 on 10 is little tough. Yes.
I like honesty, okay?
Yes, sir.
Now,
10 on 10 is a little tough thing. 8 on 10 is also a decent score, but I'm somewhere 6 to 7. Like there is a biasness or there is a unavailability because of personal reasons.
So this comes like this, that 10 is the ideal score, 6 to 7 is what I'm living, 8 is what I want.
8 is what I want. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Likewise, you can rate cardio values. However, it requires a long introspection before you will be able to reach to it. You have to put
Yes.
a long reflection.
Yes, sir.
What is the evidence that you are 6 and 7 as on now?
So
Will
that's
demonstrate.
that is self-assessment. Like when you say that out of 10 times I'm at least 6 times available or 7 times available, and there are 2 times I have to reject because of the circumstances or my own personal reasons. So
Okay.
that's how you just, it's an approximate score, could be 6, could be 7 sometimes.
Okay. And now each one of you can rate, and that's the gap. But now the major question is, most of you have even yet not figured out that what's the really evidence of my demonstrating these values? Because we value something, but we don't demonstrate that value. So what is the way you know that you demonstrate it? What do you see and you really know that you do it? What do you hear that you really know that you do it? Now, if you will assess on the basis of that, you will reach to the real, genuine scorecard of your values. Now, until you reach there, you cannot improve it. Now, let me give you an example. You know, fortunately, I just saw 2 of our great soldiers here. One I can see Vaibhav, one I can Colonel here, you know. Now, we all have a value for our country. We all value sacrifice. But, you know, these people demonstrate sacrifice. You know, we all start gathering some ration, something when we hear some news, and we go for blood donation camp those days when someone tells us. But if we really value sacrifice, love for the country, saving a life, then we won't look for the occasions to donate blood or to help someone, a victim, or to do someone. Okay. Now, that's the difference between giving a value, having a value, knowing a value, or just having a value.
Sir,
We
we
may love
can't
a
hear you,
value
sir.
and
There's a
we
lot of
must
disturbance.
love some value. Okay. And we love it simply. But we don't, in fact, live those values. And where do we come from? Because
Sir,
we love to tell people,
sorry to
we love to
interrupt you
tell
there.
ourselves.
But there is a lot of noise
Can
coming.
we ask people to go on mute?
Yeah, please go on mute, help others. And I will just put before you something, a framework. Maybe you can connect with it. And what are we trying to figure out is that we do say, I value this, or I love to value this, but we don't live that value. So loving a value, liking a value, and living that value is a big difference. Okay. And it takes a lot to begin living a value. And the story goes to long time back in our lives, you know, when we were just growing up. Okay. And that's the time every day, you know, your mother would wake you up by saying, Navneet, Urvashi, hey, Anne, get up. And by listening to the get up, you will just keep rolling on the bed and would say, Uta to ho, I'm already gotten up. Navneet, what time you wake up?
Sir, 5:45, 6.
And what time you get up?
Sir, 6:15.
The difference between waking up and getting up. Your mother would know this difference, but you would mistake waking up with getting up, and you would keep telling her, Mom, I already gotten up. And she would say, no, get up. Between the time wake up and get up, what do you experience? Navneet, be honest.
With the difference between waking up and getting up?
What do you experience in between the time you wake up and when you get up?
So that's the best time when you get a
Best
15
time.
minute time.
Now look at it, knowing that is the best time, when you find your child enjoying all that time between the wake up and get up, what do you do?
So just trying to tell yourself to get off, get up, because just trying to tell yourself that these are 15 last minutes to get up.
I'm asking that, knowing that you enjoy the best in those moments, okay? And lot of assimilation happen, lot of new ideas dawn in. Knowing this, even if your child is enjoying time between wake up and get up, what do you do?
So
Get
we are,
up.
so you're still pestering, get up, it's going to get
Good.
late, you're going to miss.
Now, notice how do you fail to live by a value that you know something valuable. So, knowing that what we value, we don't value that. We don't live by that. Okay? And we start getting into rules, we start getting into because, we start getting into it has to be this way. And your mother would, several times tell you, and you will keep rolling on the bed. But some days were very different. And those days were, suddenly while you were just woken up, aroma of a good delicious food entered through your nostril and diffused into your brain, and you screamed back, Mom! And mom said, yes. Are you cooking? And you name that delicious food that you got the aroma for. So if you're in India, then you said, are you cooking puri cholas? If you're abroad, it is the best baked bread, and that aroma is, very delicious for your brain. And your mom said, yes, I am baking this. And you immediately got up. Now, nobody had to force you today. Nobody had to scream at you today. Every day you would take time to go to bathroom, go to washroom, go to take bath, get ready, and even would be late to the bus stop. But this day is different because your delicious food is cooked up, okay, and you have gotten up. But then you got confused also. Mom, but today is not Sunday. Because usually she cooks it on Sunday. And she said, yeah, today is not Sunday, but I thought, let me give you this for your school lunch. Oh, mom, school lunch. Wow. Now, this was good enough for you to even skip the breakfast. And you said, Mom, give me my tiffin. You know what was going on in your mind? That I will share this with my friend in the recess. And think about it, how you had, without anybody training you, a value of giving. Putting other people first was your value. And you went to school happily, okay? And then you wait for the recess to happen. And the moment recess happened, you quickly grabbed your friend from the hand and took it to the, maybe not canteen, but maybe playground, and took at the bite, and you begin giving to your friend. Hey, take it. And your friend said, huh, what's this? And you said, this is my favorite bread. And he said, but I don't like it. And the moment your friend said, I don't like it, you did what? You took the bread and pushed into the mouth. And the reason why you put in the mouth is because you knew that what you are experiencing, this friend must experience. So something good you are experiencing, you could not stop yourself giving your friend the experience. And the moment your friend had the experience of it, your friend did not wait and grabbed the bread from you and began taking it. And it was the first bread taken, the second bread taken, and for the third one, maybe your friend stopped and said, "Oh, come on. You take it, Anne, or you take it, Raghav, or you take it, Navneet." So imagine that how that friend offered you back. And you know what you did? You told a lie. You said, this morning I had 3. Are there some occasions, Navneet, when you did tell a lie to give the other person? It happened?
So mostly to, what I can recall is right now mostly to children. We tell them that, there is enough portion you can eat and we'll eat later.
Okay, now tell me, is telling a lie bad or good?
Sir, if it's not harming the other person, then it's not bad. If it's hurting somebody, it's definitely bad.
Nice. Now think about it. In the childhood time, we would tell our friend the lies to give them greatness, give them good experience. And you told a lie to your friend, and your friend took away all the breads. And the last bread, your friend cut into half. You took half, your friend took 3.5. Even by taking half, what was your experience?
So the experience was always good. In fact, I never got the half also. My
And you
lunch
still
was
felt better. Okay. So
still
think
felt
that
better.
in the childhood time, the less was more.
Yes.
Look at today, so much more is less. Now what has changed? And when has this changed? You know that? Because the moment you return back home and your mother questioned, did you take your lunch? And your answer was, yeah, but why are you asking when you are giving me lunch? I will obviously take it. And she said, don't say obviously, tell me, did you take or did you not? And then you begin maybe trembling and you said, I gave only one bite to my friend and he took away the whole puri. And your mother said, what about the second one? And said, second one, my friend didn't even ask, took on his own. And the third one, he stopped or she said, take half or take someone. And I said, I've taken 3 in the morning. And this was enough for such a compassionate mother to pounce upon you and say, so you have begun telling lies also, huh? And you are trying to hide it from me. And you told me lies. And maybe she went to the extent that, don't your friend has mother? It was too hurting for you. Now take my story as metaphoric. Don't try to relate only the goodness of your mother. Remember, we are the victim of our own people only. Nobody else from outside has ever impacted our life as much the people who are close to us have impacted it. And that was a time when you saw your mother or someone in some situation like this, if you take as a metaphor, you took a decision that either tomorrow onward, I will not annoy this person, maybe your mother, and you begin hiding from your friend. Or maybe you said, I will never tell the truth to my mom because she doesn't understand how dear is my friend. And that was a time, the core that you are born with begin to get covered by the influences. and they became the basis of your decisions. And in the influences, there are many hidden beliefs. They are quite self-satisfying, but are not value-oriented. I believe, because that's what I believe. And we may have social belief, we may have family belief, personal belief, maybe religious belief, and that influences so much that on this belief, on these influences, the layers of impressing others begin to weave, and you have built up a very, very strong personality. And this personality is that when I ask you, okay, how much do you live by your value? It doesn't want to say, I don't. It doesn't let you say, I don't. It say, I do. And who the hell you are, who knows? I don't. Now, it's not about silencing me, liking me or disliking me, because the one person that has to assess and know is only you. But ever since we became the victim of influences, we begin doing things only to show. And when we show something and somebody challenges us, we have all the proofs. And think about when I ask you, how do you know you live by value? You begin to give me all the proofs. And if I challenge those proofs, you have the capacity to even defend. And this personality has these three main characteristics. And there are three more that I can't discuss here. They are very deep the level, and I have to really take you to a deeper level. But it has primarily three jobs. You know, I'm a big ICF certified trainer. I have 40 years of experience. My course is, how many people we have changed our lives. It only wants to talk, show, 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 show. Show how much I love country, show how much I sacrifice my country, show how good I am, show I am so much genuine, so show and keep showing. And if somebody checks, prove. Somebody again give a check, defend. That's called personality. Now come to that metaphor story back, that if someone who gave you breads for school, take metaphoric, huh? And the moment you said, I gave it all. And the person said, what? Did you give it all? I love you. Come on. You should be, maybe you are feeling hungry. Come on, let me cook for you. And got into cooking. Your tummy is light. So first fed you up and then said, hey, come on. You like giving your friend so much? One day you bring your friend here. I will cook for your friend also. Or I'll give you double the money next time so that you don't stop giving your friend. If this was the case, this core wasn't covered. This core was alive till date. This core was illuminating. And this core is the real score to lift you up. Then you are not the victim of this core being hidden. You are always undergoing inspirations. And then what comes up from this inspiration is something a powerful called individuality. Sorry. Personality is when you are aligned with some person. You have the person allies. And under the influence of that, you keep on becoming a very stronger and stronger personality day by day, moment by moment, even second by second, deep inside you. Subjected to this core being alive and given by inspiration and support, you become a strong individual, very strong individual. Okay? And it doesn't show, it gets noticed, it is seen. It has not to prove. No approval is required. But think about it. I am putting this question to every single person here. If there is a marriage or some place you have to go, notice how much you spend just to show. Deep within you don't want it. But you end up doing things, what will others say? What will others point out? And at the end of it, you go through maybe massive pain or somewhat frustration or whatever you might be. Okay? Now, even if you decide and remain determined, hey, what's the need? I will go by what I value. But soon, as the occasion becomes nearer, somebody start influencing you or you yourself, and you end up relenting to what others are wanting. Now that's happening not only there, everywhere. And that is how we keep drifting from individuality to personality. But between this personality and individuality, there's a big gap. And there is a force that acts upon you. Until you start knowing and understanding that force, until you start developing and understanding that force, and start aligning that force to give you power and give you strength, living by any value is difficult in any situation. Now, it's not about telling others. Values are not about telling others. Values are only about yourself. And like Navneet was sharing, I believe that every one of you would share with me that when you succeed in living by a value, what you get is immense peace within. And now find out, are you at peace with yourself? Are you absolutely joyful and happy every single moment? Are you in the state of anandam? If not, it is nothing else other than a value is causing a conflict and nothing else. So the entire state of affair or state of mind or the life that we are living, if it is not living to the ultimate satisfaction, it is some values we are compromising somewhere. But if I question and point out that your 3 bullets you fire at me, that is show, and then you prove until I become silent. You don't stop. Okay? But by silencing me, you are not drifting into silence. Okay? And that's the importance of this workshop. So the layer by layer we uncover in the workshop, and otherwise it's a lifelong journey. So nothing, you can say that everything happens in the workshop. No, we initiate you to several thought processes and you start looking and challenging your life. Well, am I really living a life that is worth it? Because a life that is really worth it give you the ultimate worth of life. That is immense satisfaction and sense of joy every single moment. Okay. And unfortunately, we are living in such a world where our whole definition of value has gone wrong. And whole ecological system is today disturbed only because most people are in the business of getting Nobel Prizes, getting PhDs, getting universities, getting everything, are in the circle of show, prove, defend, and be a known personality, a known person. Okay? And that's where the whole world is even getting into deterioration. So if you think that even the world around you is deteriorating, even family around you is deteriorating, even your own health or your own happiness or your own state of affairs is deteriorating, it is a time to begin understanding deeper about values, start reflecting on the values. I'm not saying that it's easier path, but I'm saying that the day you start understanding deeper about values and begin living values, the satisfaction and the joy start dawning. Okay? Will it dawn completely? Well, I have no authority to tell you, because that responsibility rests upon you. Now, this is what this entire journey of this value conscious leadership is about, that more of the value conscious leadership coaches are required in this world, because most people are not giving a check to themselves, and they are rather becoming more stronger in these three zones. That's where the world needs coaches who can themselves also begin moving towards values and can help other people also begin inching towards values. And in the time to come, the people who can coach people on values is becoming immensely important. Okay, it's a word different than the word that you see. Maybe you find few or very counted number of such people, but doesn't matter. Even the few you start getting along with, that's where we will deeply connect with the deep ancient wisdom that has been given to us, and we have been getting deviated from these values, and we have long back begin taking path of a very strong personalities, and all kind of even interventions are aimed at make stronger on big personalities, but very few turn towards building great individuals. So if you want to take a path from a strong personality to great individuals, okay, that's where this journey is meant for. And it's deep diving and deep reflecting. Even if one thing I would give you to reflect upon, you will get several things like that. In all those time you'll be interacting with us. And that's what the value conscious leadership is about. Now, before I will end this, I would like to address question of you one by one, but give a thoughtful question, and you can raise your hand. I will find the person who the person is and ask the person to, kind of give me a question and I'll answer. Okay. So everyone is welcome to ask question, but be thoughtful before you ask me. Yes. Yes, Ashish.
While Sat sir, I understand purely where you're coming from and the importance of this, and but we all live in a society, right? And I was listening to you and I was trying to relate to it. A lot of thoughts came across my mind. Being an individual in the society, it's all right, but then you kind of get outcast. Different है, अलग है, अकल ही नहीं है, मतलब ये क्या है? And maybe it's a more society. So I'm saying yes, I understand the need, the importance. Maybe I'm evolved, but 99% of the people around us, they will try and pull you into doing what they would want to see of you. You understand what I mean? In the sense that they will not let you live. But being oblivious of the fact, if you want to really live yourself, true value, then you type of become outcast. So how do you then manage a situation like this?
Now, that's what I told you already. You have a choice between continuously keep getting influenced, drifted, and driven by the world around you, and you have the choice to get on a driving seat and begin changing one thought at a time. So it is not the word that matters. It is that if, say, I matter to me, that's where this journey is for. And one day the world begin deteriorating and has reached to this end. Somewhere the world has to begin getting reformed and has to get to the another end. And this is a chance to be that individual, so that nobody counts you in those 99% that you are counting the others into. So when others talk about the 99 people are like this, you say, I don't want to be counted in that. So
So the problem is that they are already counting us in 1%. So
Ashish, I can,
yeah.
I think I can tell you my story. It was a different, in my family, if I'm talking of, nobody had done this baptism like Amrit Chakna. And when I wore a turban for the first time, it was a big question. Why are you doing it? What people will say? How will you work? Where will you go? I said, this is a decision of my life, and I have to live what I value most in my life. And it was, I would say it took them a few months, but then they came in terms with it. But many times, even when I go to some organization, I used to go to some organizations where people will say, what is this, what you will do and what you will not do. But when I talk to them and I tell them, this is a part of my life, it's related to me as a part of my spiritual journey. It has nothing to do with anybody else, and what I'm teaching, it is not a part of it, right? It took a long time to people to understand what I'm delivering and what I'm talking to people. So it takes, when you are coming for the workshop, I know, and when you come for the workshop, you will understand the basic roots why we are not able to do it. What is it that is not letting us make
I
us
am with you totality, Siri. I am not trying to question that. All I'm trying to say is that look, we have been here almost all the time. Myself and my wife, we talk about it, and we don't give a hoot to what other people are thinking. But when it comes to close family, then you're supposed to think. But still, we say, okay, let it be, let it pass. It's see, if there is anybody whom I'm acquaintance with, their opinion don't matter to me at all. It is your loved ones whose opinion always matters, right?
Yes.
So
We'll
I
dig deeper
will
when you
one
come,
more
Ashish.
conversation. Yes, that's
So
a. I
it
keep
definitely
answer other than
matters,
certain
the loved
answer.
one's opinions. Okay.
Prosperity is saying
Okay.
something.
Yes, I'm saying the loved one opinions definitely matter, and it matters a lot. And it's always a journey to first discover what your values are. Even that does not happen overnight. Then to live by them is another journey. So it's not something buy-in from loved ones
Living
is the most
prosperity,
difficult
living
thing.
prosperity, living by it is the most difficult thing.
Absolutely.
You
It
can
is not.
find your values. Yeah,
It
you
is,
can
it
find,
is,
but
it
living
is
by it is
difficult. Okay. So even when you're saying loved ones, it's absolutely, my loved ones will say, "Tum Satsiri ke sath jaisi ban jaogi, tum aisi ho jaogi." So that's what I will hear them say,
that's
right?
a good
But
situation to be in.
that's for you.
But
See, the point is that's for you. When I joined the
मेरे को
workshop,
कोई
I
बोले कि
saw,
तुम सत सर जैसे
no,
बन
no.
जाओगे, सीधे जैसे बन
So the
जाओगे, I
whole
would love
point
it.
is this.
I
When
mean,
I
that's
saw
evolution.
Satan Siri for the first time, I was like, I'm in a wrong place. Okay, that was my reaction when I saw them. Imagine my family's reaction when they look at Siri in a turban and they see her all like, in white dress and everything else. It's a very different thing for the family to accept it. One of my very, very close relatives, they'll be saying that, one day you'll come wearing a turban. It's like, I'll do it for you only, but I'll do it for you. So it turns
Yeah,
into a
no, so
joke, it turns into a
what
lot
I'm
of
saying
things,
is
but
that
yeah,
look,
it is difficult. Huh?
I enjoy this journey with IMSC. That's why I'm here. I'm there on all the calls. I'm attending all the programs, and I understand. I can relate to it. But all I'm saying is that मैं अपने आप को तो समझा लूंगा, दुनिया भर को कैसे समझाएंगे? वो
मैं वही बोल
99%
रही हूँ कि जो मेरे आसपास इर्द गिर्द है, दोज पीपल हु मैटर अ लॉट टू मी, ओके, मतलब वो जो क्लोजेस्ट फैमिली नेट रहती है, उनके साथ भी इट्स अ जर्नी. इट डज नॉट कम इजी. It does
It's-
not happen overnight, but
Yes.
it's a decision.
No, I think prosperity, there's one more point to it. I was just thinking, see, what we do mostly, somebody asks, what are your values? That's when you sit and jot it down. You
Absolutely.
don't think it all the time. I
No,
will
we
be
don't.
honest. I did
We don't think
mention,
it.
that's why I replied to Sat sir that I believe so.
Yeah.
Because
Dhanam,
half of the time,
I don't agree with it. Your value
Okay,
systems
hold,
are
hold, hold.
your
Hold,
value
actually.
systems are in your DNA. You don't have to recall
Correct.
them all the
Correct.
time.
no,
It
that
happens
is
naturally
true.
to you.
Okay,
that
let's,
is true.
okay, hello. Yes. Now the question is, there's a lot in our DNA and we are not aware of.
Yes.
So something we have it, we may not know. And when even we put as a first projection, I don't know how accurate is even that projection. So it takes a lot of time to understand it. Okay. Now we express our values, but we don't live our values. So that's a very big statement. They get expressed, but we are not living them. Okay. Similarly, our personality is getting expressed and we are wanting to stop it. It is not stopping. So that's a journey. And I'm just adding few things more to it. That's not even, it is not even, like if the prosperity is whole family is very
Can you please mute yourself,
different
everyone?
one. And in this, there nobody in life coaching profession, even for them, life coaching or executive coaching was a very odd thing. So not the attire and other things. They said, what is this? Who needs it? No one needs it. No one would want it. Nobody can make money with it. Nobody can live with it. So not only of attire and other things as well, even this profession itself even also get challenged. So your values guide you. But how strong you are, and it takes time for you to begin understanding, realizing, and imbibing, integrating. It's a whole journey. You have done it many times, but you're not aware of your conscious process. And that's what we introduce you to in the workshop, all the nuts and bolts drawn from the deep nuggets of Indian ancient wisdom, and we put before you. And I'm not saying journey is easy. Nowhere I've said it. So what she has said, or anybody is, yes, also the voice of the people. Yeah, it's very difficult path, very difficult. And even if you're a famous one, good one, doesn't mean that you're living by value. So the way we bring it out and put before you, several people have even abandoned their own research by understanding, oh, this is not value. It's not valuable. Okay. So that's a very deep introspection. And from the Indian deeper wisdom, it's very different understanding about what's really a value. Okay. And I want more question from some people. Anyone else? Yeah, any question? So I can only believe that it has left
So
you
we have few people. We have Nageshwari and we have Vaibhav. They have done this program. So do you think you want them to just speak few words? That is that
Yeah,
okay?
Vaibhav, seeing you after a long time, where are you lost?
I know. He's been working and I don't know what he's doing.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you
Sir,
speak?
Jai
Yeah.
Hind. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so Jai Hind, everyone. I am Vaibhav, and
No, your voice has gone, Vaibhav. बीच में जा रही है आपके पास.
hello.
हाँ, now it's your audible.
No, again gone.
Hello.
Yeah, again is there now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going and coming. So either you can use without the headphones so we can hear you. Because something is not right in your headphone.
Hello.
Yeah, yes, we can hear you now.
So, hello everyone. So I'll just directly come to the point. No point in introducing myself, and because we are running short on time. So one thing I'd like to add here, based on my experience, जो भी value conscious coaching I have been doing so far. कोच साहब ने बहुत पहले एक बात कही थी and मैंने वो absorb कर ली थी and I've been following it. तो एक चीज जब हम किसी से values elicit करते हैं, हम लोग try करते हैं उसकी values को निकालने के लिए, तो एक usually what happens is कि जब हम क्लाइंट से वैल्यू के बारे में बात करते हैं तो वो कुछ फैसिनेटिंग वर्ड्स के ट्रैप में आ जाता है, जो वो ये दिखाना चाहता है कि मैं ऐसा हूं और मैं ऐसा बनना चाहता हूँ. तो ही गेट्स कंफ्यूज्ड विद हाउ ही इज लिविंग हिज लाइफ सो फार एंड हाउ ही वांट्स टू बी. तो वो दोनों को जब वो मिक्स कर देता है ना, तब थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूजन हो जाता है. तो व्हाट आई डू इज, whenever I ask about the values or whenever I try to elicit the values, I always add this कि based on your life so far. So उसमें then वो पीछे का ही सोच के how he has lived his life so far, उसने किस चीज को ज्यादा वैल्यू दिया है वो. क्योंकि हम फ्यूचर की बात करेंगे ना तो बहुत फैसिनेटिंग वर्ड्स आते हैं, या कुछ अपने कुछ डिजायर्स होती हैं और वो उसमें फिर ट्रैप हो जाता है. तो
Vaibhav, what was your experience? You just share. He's from Indian Air Force and he is now in Pune back to his family. So when you did the workshop, what change it brought or something that you can share about the program?
yeah, these workshops, it has changed my life, and I have actually got a new perspective. I see things differently. I see life differently, and because I could elicit my own values, and I will be very honest, it is very difficult to live by those values, but still I try, because अगर once you are in line with your values और आप उसको हमेशा फुल टाइम अगर जी पा रहे हो तो मतलब आप तो you have आपको आनंद प्राप्त कर लिया है. So honestly it is very difficult. Sometimes we get carried away and हम नहीं उनके in line होते हैं values के. But yes, you can keep reminding yourself कि these are my values. You can put a write it down and stick it on in your bedroom or wherever you can see it all the time, maybe the wallpaper of your phone, so that it keeps reminding you and you can be in line with those values and you make decisions based on those values. And trust me, if you are making decisions based on your values, you will never regret them. Even if you may suffer some superficial loss, but deep within, you'll always be, joyful. You'll have that peace of mind. So values, this is something. If you are in line with your values, this is my own experience that I will not care what कि कोई क्या बोल रहा है या क्या कोई सोच रहा है मेरे बारे में, या जो मेरे near and dear ones हैं उनके क्या thoughts होंगे, because I'm a little bit inclined towards spirituality also. तो मैं इन दोनों को मिक्स करके देखता हूँ. ये जो मेरे वैल्यूज हैं, ये अगर मैं इनको लेके चल रहा हूँ, that means I'm in touch with my own self. This is my core, this is my soul, this is my spirit. ये कहीं कनेक्शन है इनमें जो पीछे से आया है और जो ये प्रेरणा है कि मुझे इनको लेके चलना है. तो जो भी लोग आप जो ये जान भी पाए हैं, तो कोच साहब हैं, ये हैं, इन्होंने जो हमको ये थोड़ा सा इससे इंट्रोड्यूस कराया है वैल्यू सिस्टम से. तो हालांकि ये हम सब में है, एज आई हर्ड कि हमारे डीएनए में होता है, लेकिन इसको सामने लेके आना और फिर हमको इसे पहचान के इसको एक्चुअली एग्जीक्यूट करने लगना, ये डेफिनेटली इट्स अ लाइफ चेंजिंग थिंग. और आप एज अ कोच अगर किसी को ये चीज दिखा पाते हो और उसको लेके आ पाते हो कि वो भी अपने वैल्यूज के इनलाइन चलना शुरू कर सके, तो ग्रेजुअली स्टेप बाय स्टेप, इंच बाय इंच, जब वो इसको प्रैक्टिस करने लग जाते हैं ना, तो एक पॉइंट आता है कि देन यू फील फुलफिल्ड और आपको अपना पर्पस दिखने लगता है, क्योंकि वेर एवर द अटेंशन गोज एनर्जी फ्लोज.
Yes.
अगर आपको
Thank you.
Okay, I'll cut it short.
Thank you so much. No, thanks. I want to talk to Deepak.
I see your hand, Deepak.
Thank you, Vaibhav. I am very happy
Yes.
to see you after so many months. Yes, Deepak.
Yes, sir. First
You
and
want to
foremost,
speak?
thank you for the
Did I
session.
know-
It's always nice to hear you. I have heard this statement a couple of times in the last 2 hours that it's very difficult to practice your values. And my question is, if it is very difficult to practice your values, then how are they even your values? Are we talking about practiced values? Are we talking about aspired values? And I think that distinction, because I can't imagine that if something is very difficult for me to do, how is that even something I value? Right?
Because a day was there when it was difficult for you to walk even. It was difficult for you to talk even. So everything to begin is very difficult when you introduce to that. And why we say difficult? Because so far we are total under the influence in a self-fulfilling word, and we are saying this is what is value, and we are valuing this, but we do not know what is the really a core value and how do we define it. Okay, so if this was the value which we are doing, which is usually we are living by, then we would have been living with the ultimate satisfaction and joy, because every value gives that. But if it is not happening, then somewhere we are on the path of personality and not individuality. Individuality is that which have no duality in left in it. So which is indivisible, but we are quite divided. We are not whole. Okay. So yes, if I will tell a lie, no, it's easier. That lie is not, a lie will get other people, but bringing people with the truth, yes, it is not easy. And let me tell you, even like this, it has taken long time for even the world community to realize that, cutting trees, burning fuel, getting oil, even this is also not valuable. Think about it, that we have so many other ways to bring in energy and bring in life without fuel. But we haven't done that because we were totally under the R&D under also influences. Okay. And if you look deep into the Indian scripture, you would know that, oh, the possibility existed much before that, but that possibility has not been even explored even. Okay. So it is easier to bring oil out and pollute the world, but it is very difficult to turn your head and run your car on water, which even though Honda is trying. Okay, and they have succeeded as the first engine. So when the EVs were coming, I began questioning. It is no longer, it is not at all a pollution saving. It's a pollution creating. It is again auto values. So a lot of value deterioration has happened that we have become so comfortable with it, and we think, oh God, where it is difficult, we are already living by values. But yes, reverse path is very difficult. Okay.
So can I talk to Charlie? Are you available, Charlie? Is it possible for you to talk?
Do you have to say or ask?
Yes. Yes, Siri.
Hi, Charlie.
Hi.
You have attended the workshop with us. I don't know what's the time with you. Thank you for joining us. He's from South Africa, right?
No, it's Cameroon now. Cameroon, Central
Okay,
Africa.
Cameroon. Okay. So you have attended the workshop with us, values, and I understand you're doing a lot
He's
of
not
coaching
attending
with
values
top
yet.
level executives at your place and even at the ministry level. So what has been the benefit or what you've got out of the values workshop when you attended? If you can share with people about your own self and in your coaching journey.
Yeah, no, I think, and also thank you for the rehearsal, because I think following SAT, it brings back, everything we learned when we did the value coach certification course. What I know is we need to be kind of, to show some sort of oneness. That's how I call it. Because when you lack that kind of integrity, etymologically speaking, it's very difficult to feel good, because you are torn apart. You have values, you have principles, and if you don't follow them, or maybe if you don't make sure you have a very strong awareness of how your values are being applied, or maybe are being expressed in all your daily life, minute by minute, or hours hour after hour. I think it will be very, very difficult, because I know from my personal experience, and when I see others, that if you are not aligned, and I think trying to bring everything, to be aligned and to follow the vision and the ambition that you've set for yourself, it's very difficult. So in my view, what SAT just expressed is, what I've learned here is that we need to make sure, first, we have value. Second, we really know what our values are, because at times we say we have value, like the first question you asked. where we say, okay, yes, we live by our values. And then we said, I do. All of us said that. But when you dig deeper, you see clearly that maybe when you think of values, you have not really said or maybe written clearly what your values are and what they what they entitled. And so I think that's one thing, getting this sort of very sharp awareness of what you have and making sure you can assess really where, when you work every day, that your values are being protected and that they are really feeding your all the decisions or actions that you take for your life. So that's what I take from here. And as a coach, I think I've always, and thinking, from a Christian perspective, I think one of the first constraints that I've got with people that I coach is that you feel like they don't really have, paramount values or principles that lead their life. And then it becomes really difficult because for sure that you don't want just to give people or maybe to lead people to live on the surface. You want them to have something that is deep and that will sustain what they think about, because at the end of the day, the environment, everything around us will ever be changing. And so if you are not firmly sitting on very core values, very core rock, as I call it, it's really difficult to say that you are helping or supporting people to be the best of what they can. So that's what I can say. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Hari. Thank you. Really appreciate that.
Like it. Okay.
Yes, Nageshwari, would you want to just share about your journey for the Values Conscious Leadership Program?
Yes, sure. Sure. Good evening, everyone. I'm Nageshwari. I did this Value Conscious Leadership module last year. Personally, my experiences after doing this module, really it connected the dots for me. It has really taken me to my beingness. These modules, the tools, whatever was there in this value conscious leadership, it made me a very integrated individual, very consolidated, gathered, and grounded. And this last 1 year, I'm also practicing very deeply these values. And I can say personally, I feel the universe comes to us as values. The life comes to us as values. Values are the spiritual skills. And it attracts once we start embracing and live by our value, not knowing just as a concept in the mind, but in the heart, in our very sensory, in our DNA, someone was telling. If we start living the value, vibrating that frequency, then it attracts very good, fortunate life response. Life starts responding to us in a miraculous way, and we witness the marvels. So this is what I personally experienced, living by the values. And one more thing, I've also started coaching many senior executives. I'm working in SAIL. I'm the regional finance head of Western India. I'm based in Mumbai. So many of, even outside some army colonel and senior executive general managers level, because these top people already they have that maturity, the mental maturity, they are already evolved. So this value conscious leadership tools, when I coach them, really it is illuminating for them, and they are also, I am seeing there is a profound shift within them. So this is a very, very profound module. So I recommend, I love everyone to enroll this and we can abridge the time of our evolution. Whatever unconsciously we evolve in the span of a decade, if we make a conscious evolution, this is the consciousness human mankind is vested with. We can collaborate in our evolution. It's not unconsciously, it happens by default. If we partner in our own evolution, we can abridge the time and we can speed up and skyrocket our evolution. For that, values play a very, very, very important role. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Nageshwari. I'm seeing Jayant. Jayant, are you there? Can you come on the video?
I saw Colonel also. I don't know where is Ajay.
I think he's not there. I was also looking for him.
Jayant is there.
Jayant, Brigadier Jayant, you're not there? Okay. So anybody else who would like to share, if you have any questions to ask? Anybody
I would
want
like
to share?
Uh,
Arpita,
Hi, I'm Arpita. I would like to share
hi.
my experience. I had done
Sure.
this course almost 2 years ago. First shift that happened was, before that, I always wanted to be somebody where, in the external people's eyes. Okay. From there, after this, the shift came that I wanted to be somebody in my own eyes. So then I started questioning the values that I was living for and the values that I should be living for. So, first shift, that is internal. And I always remember my first conversation with Siri that this coaching, whatever you do, is going to help you first. And it has been a wonderful journey. It has been started helping me. When I go with the value consciousness tools, when I coach people, every time that I do it, after the session, when I sit down and think, I again go through my set of values again. So every time it has been a learning, it has been a doing. So it has been a wonderful experience. And Siri, you were absolutely right. Each and every moment, it is helping me again and again.
Thank you, Arpita.
Okay,
Been
thank you
such a
for
long time.
sharing
Thank you
your-
so much. Yes, Brigadier Jayant, are you there?
Yeah, hello, ma'am. Hello, Sat sir, ma'am.
Hello. How are you? It's been a long time.
Actually good, yes, ma'am. Of
Yes.
course,
So how has been your journey? It's been
it
very
has
long.
been good with a lot of your blessings, and I never forget to remember both of you, of course. Whenever I'm in a session or when I become comfortable with people or any organization, I've always, spoken about my journey with you as to how it started and where I am. And I think there has been a transformative journey. And I said that I think now I've realized that life is actually endless learning. And it is that more you learn, I think you always find that, I hardly know anything. There is so much to know. I think that's the way value lies, I suppose. And I was actually out somewhere. I just came in, so I logged in. And I personally feel, I think this is one of the most wonderful sessions it would be, value consciousness, leadership. I think all the three words, rather, I think the consciousness I give the most important word. And in that, the value and of course, leadership is because I suppose today people are oversighted by the word leadership. So I think I always feel that, the consciousness, I feel that consciousness paradigm is, I think, one of the very sole characteristics of being a good leader or being a human being. And I'm talking about that consciousness perspective, sir. That I think that level of awareness must exist so that you can see something very non-judgmental in purer form, and you will be in a state to actually see through the things much beyond what it exists. And that's where I suppose I always tell people that I go regularly to my village, and I have realized that probably I have a lot of love for the nature, for the plants, trees, the lake which is there, and I spend a lot of time. It gives me a lot of energy in the sense it, I think, keeps me rooted, grounded somewhere. I think I'm still not able to say that, and that's where I of course origination was you both, of course, which actually um, I think provoked me to get on to reading as to what is that awareness, what is that non-judgmental awareness, and then it led to consciousness and leadership and the value. It has been a great journey, and I think this is a very basis for our existence, I personally feel. And every communication or mentorship domain, I think this is the very ground level, most basic level, I suppose. If people are there with that value system, I think this word sounds in a little higher framework. But I have always said that, I think it's a very, very basic form. And I always tell them that, a lot of young boys also, they come up to me and for maybe, though I'm not doing SSB or army coaching, I am not involved into that. But some guys, they come up, I say, sir, please guide us. I say, it's okay, no problems. And I only tell them one thing. I said, be as normal and natural what your parents had, taken out this in this world you to be. And you don't need to undergo and get coached by people, because the guys who are sitting there, they are super smart than you, okay? And they can see through you that you have been coached. And if you are not correct in your own consciousness domain, if you do not understand what is your worth and value, I say just go natural. And something like that, what you would like your younger brother to be, so called value system, संस्कार में, और जैसा आपके माँ बाप ने आपको बनाया है, जैसा चाहते थे, I said it is so simple and so difficult. तो बस उससे ज्यादा कुछ भी नहीं करना है. And from that platform, I've tried to see that, from the daily lives, how do you work, how do you feel, and then, so there have been a lot of good transformation. I feel that I think this is a wonderful place to be on the value consciousness leadership domain. And I certainly had a very great desire to be here to attend the full session, sir. And it is such, I cannot express, I feel so happy to see you both and take your blessings. Certainly, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yes. So we have Kamal. Kamal, are you there? Kamal?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ जी, कैसे हैं आप?
कैसे हैं मैम? First class.
You also remember you attended the program with us that was in Goa. We did the last program before the COVID.
Yes. How can I forget?
Absolutely.
How can I forget? I mean, you were the sole reason that I was there. If you remember, I was going through tooth problem and I got to go on antibiotics, right? So, yeah, thoroughly enjoyed. It was a transformative journey. I mean, knowing my own personal strength, how could I overcome that personal pain and then getting there and then going through. I don't know whether this workshop is going to be offsite or it's in local.
Yeah, we are doing offsite.
Wonderful. I mean, people gonna gain so much because the kind of interaction and collaboration that takes place there, and the amount of time and the quality of time we spend together with the coaches as well as the co-participant is amazing. The thing was that value system. We normally think that, or we were saying that we have to think that we have value, right? It is always there. It's just the thing that it is like जो हिरन होता है उसकी कस्तूरी के माफिक है, हिरन कस्तूरी ढूंढता रहता है, but it is within. So we have to figure out where that kasturi is and what that kasturi is like. And once we realize that what it is, then life becomes blissful. So, guys, you are fortunate that you all are getting to attend this workshop. Great. Enjoy the most and make the most.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kamal. Okay. I think time is come to end today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for everybody joining us in. It was a pleasure to see so many faces, been so many years ago, but I think it was so wonderful that all of you came in.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for coming up, showing up.
So before we leave, just a little thing, we are having this values workshop in May. Okay, so Siri, will you just inform about that values workshop as well?
So we have the program planned from 6th of May till 10th of May. It's a place called Almora, which is a geomagnetic hill suggested by one of the participants who visited there. And he says, you do something there because there are only 3 geomagnetic hills in the world. And I even didn't know one is in India. And that's called as Kasar Devi. And so it's going to be 5 days workshop. Amazing when we're going to be together, it's going to be really different. And as Kamal has said, when you're interacting, when you're there, of course, it's a little bit different. You're in the physical presence, right? Though the workshop is happening online as well, both the things we are doing it. But this makes it more, interesting because one of the place, this is a resort where we look up to Himalayas and also a very beautiful place. And so if anybody is interested, you can let us know. The mails have gone to everybody. You're on the mailing list. And since you've done some part of the program, if you want to redo it, we also have an option for it. Choice is yours. It's going to be it's not going to be a very good big group because the resort itself has limited number of rooms available. So do let us know if you want to just go ahead and come in. It'll be a great pleasure, right? So 5th, everybody will travel. And then 10th, once we finish, 11th, everybody can come back. So that's what it is. Thank you so much. for
That's
joining.
very
this.
special.
The transportation is taken
questions?
care of, that we take bus or we come by our own transport?
No, transportation is what you take care of. The residence is part of the fee, which I can let you know. The only thing is you have to, and I think from Delhi, you can go either by train or by car or flight. And then from there, the resort will take care of the transport. The transportation cost will be a little extra. Everything will be arranged from there, from either the station or the airport, we'll arrange everything. The resort will
Which
arrange.
station you not talk? Which station?
Yeah.
Which
Yes,
station?
yes.
City?
Sorry?
Which station you will?
No, so from Delhi, if you're going, the train will go to Kathgodam. From there, I think it's 3 hours travel by road. If you're going from Delhi to anywhere, the airport is in Pantnagar. From Pantnagar, it's going to be another 3 hours of travel journey by road. So all that will be arranged by the resort. They will do it.
Okay.
Okay. So Kamal, if you want to join us.
So come to the geomagnetic hill, get supercharged there.
Yes.
I
It's a
would say that.
supercharging hill. It's a hill which heals people physically as well. It's one of because that's the most powerful place on the planet Earth, only 3 hills. So try and make it up if you want to. That'll be great to have you there. Right? Okay. Okay. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. Wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.